Fighting Force is a traditional style 3D beat-em-up that I have a lot of history with. Not particularly interesting history, but all the same, I've played it a bunch. I even live streamed it on this channel, though that footage is lost to time. I do have a fair bit of fondness for the game, for its wholehearted attempt to translate 2D beat-em-up sensibilities into proper 3D gameplay. It succeeds in some ways and fails in others, but really, isn't that the case for everything? The basics here are about what you'd expect. You've got punches and kicks, one of them heavier and slower than the other, and you've got some basic throws, running attacks, and a desperation move which knocks down enemies at a small cost to your health. The hits are weighty, the controls feel good, and there are some fun tactics that emerge from it all, such as grabbing an enemy, breaking their spine, then rolling over them like a boulder while they're writhing on the ground. It's okay stuff. Unfortunately, the combat alone can't support Fighting Force, especially at its considerable 90 minutes of playtime. You'd also need compelling enemies and smart AI to encourage variance in strategy and promote player engagement. But both the AI and enemy types, I'm sorry to say, are painfully mediocre. Your foes regularly stand around, dumbfounded, allowing you to just wail on them with impunity, or elsewise they fail to make proper use of their own movesets in any strategic capacity. This definitely ain't Final Fight. To make matters worse, there's an abundance of cheese available, and the levels really drag. Like, these goons will not stop spawning. I play games primarily to see their design, and when you've resorted to an endless elevator full of countless brain-dead hordes, I think your design is pretty well exhausted. A no-death run of this game wasn't even particularly challenging, just tedious. So Fighting Force may sound, well, pretty bad, yeah? But actually it's not, and that's solely thanks to its primary feature, environmental destructibility. To say this game encourages environmental interaction is quite the understatement. In the first level, you can break down a car, hit the enemies with the tires, grab a rocket launcher out of the trunk to blast open the gate and anything else in your path, smash an ATM to throw its screen, drink some soda, bust open emergency glass and steal a fire axe, and that's ignoring the ton of crates, pickups, and other goodies just lying around. There's nothing quite like dismantling a dude's motorcycle, then smashing another guy over the head with the engine block. Playing with the scenery is so fun that it becomes a primary objective itself. Doubly so because you get bonus points for destroying all that stuff, which is by far the easiest way to score extra lives. The environmental actions and weapon variety are so baked into the design that they almost entirely determine the flow of combat. Every boss battle in this game is either obnoxiously difficult or laughably easy, dependent on how effectively you utilize the tools around you. Yes, even the final boss is no exception. Fighting Force is an ultimately mediocre game, which is elevated to novel decency through its weapon mechanics and destructible scenery. It overstays its welcome, and it's certainly not robust enough to stand with genre greats, but it's not terrible.